So we finally got confirmation of the news we've been expecting. Trent Alexander-Arnold has said he is leaving Liverpool. Jamie Carragher is, of course, the man you want to hear about on this story. So, Jamie, first of all, how big a hole is Trent going to leave?
A massive hole. He's a fantastic talent. He's a unique player in that position, and that's why Liverpool were, desperate to keep him, and that's why Real Madrid want to sign him. He's not just your ordinary fullback. He's the type of fullback that probably comes along every 10, 20 years because he's different. As I said, he's unique, and he's a very special talent that will, of course, leave a huge void to be filled.
Why does no one talk about his defending anymore?
Probably because he's going. In terms of what?
Well, teams attack Liverpool down his side, don't they?
Yes.
Because I think they perceive a weakness.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that anymore. Isn't that something that maybe we talk about how good he is with the ball? Should we not talk about his play when he's not got it?
Well, I think we do talk about that quite a bit. I think he gets criticised for that. He isn't the best defender out there. I'm saying he's unique because when you're describing someone who's a great fullback, you normally put defender 1v1 at the top of the list. What would make a great fullback? I don't think that would be near the top of the list for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't think it ever will be. He's a very experienced player now. He's improved a lot defensively since he first came into the team as an 18-year-old kid. But there's still a lot better. Lots of other fullbacks out there would be better in those situations. But what makes him different and what makes him special is he can do things that other fullbacks can only dream about. So. He will still have those things thrown at him in Spain for Real Madrid. There's no doubt about that. Liverpool are the top club in England, Real Madrid are the top club in Spain, but you still have some very tough games, whether that's in the Champions League or certainly away from home in La Liga, and he will be tested. I
read your article in the Daily Telegraph, and really interesting. What struck me was the fact that you let me get the phrase right, he may damage his legacy. You said something like that. Does that matter to a player?
It mattered to me, but I was never in this situation. I had options of maybe choosing the club of the calibre of Real Madrid. But for some people it does, and for some people it doesn't. And some people want their career to have played for some of the best clubs in the world. And then you look at that career and think, wow, Liverpool, Real Madrid. I'm thinking of Xabi Alonso. When I think of his career, sort of Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, you think, wow, playing for some of the greatest clubs in the world. And Trent, after, where'd you go from Real Madrid and two of the biggest clubs in world football? But he will lose something that he's got right now in terms of Liverpool supporters, whether that's their love for him or that they thought he was, one of our own, if you like. That will diminish. Now, some people will say, playing for Real Madrid, that price is not worth paying, but other people will say, no, you've got to play for Real Madrid. It's the biggest club in the world. You put that to one side, how the supporters feel. At the moment, it's your career. You get one chance at it, and you're playing for the biggest club in the world. I don't think any Liverpool supporter would deny that's what Real Madrid are, but that is something he has sacrificed by playing for Real Madrid. That's his decision.
Sure. Are you concerned that Liverpool have let one of their most valuable assets go for absolutely nothing?
No. I mean, I'd love to have got what he's worth, probably 70 to 100 million pounds. As I said, he's a unique footballer, and it's been great to try and replace him. I'm not as angry with Trent or anything like that. Maybe some of the fan base are, because he's gone on a free. Because for me, he came on a free. He come through the academy. He didn't cost the club nothing. I know people always look at clubs when they talk about players going on a free, and I say this all the time. I'm not sure people are listening or understanding. If a player wants to leave for a free, he can. The club can do nothing about it. People say, oh, sell him. The player doesn't have to go. There was no way Liverpool were going to sell Trent Alexander-Arnold when a new manager had just come in an Arne Slot and leave that hole that they've got to fill next year, but give that problem to a manager when he's first come. And also they'll think over the next 12 months, if we're really successful, we win a league like Liverpool have, can we maybe, not force him is the wrong word, almost change his mind to sign a contract. So Liverpool were never going to sell Trent Alexander-Arnold before his contract was up. And maybe Real Madrid were never going to buy him before his contract was up, because Real Madrid, if you look at their history in the last sort of 3 or 4 years, I think they speak to players and their agents a year or two out from when the contract's up, and they'll say, well, if you want to play for Real Madrid, we'll sign you in a couple of years. Now, I'm not saying that's happened with Trent, but it definitely happened with players before, and it may have happened in this situation. We don't know. But Real Madrid at this moment don't pay massive fees for players. They wait for players to leave on a free because they feel they're the biggest club in the world and everybody wants to play for them.
Obviously, Trent is going to have to be replaced, you would think. Arne Slot pushed on transfer activity over the summer and he said, yeah, but we've kept 2 of the 3. We've kept Virgil, we've kept Mo. But where do Liverpool have to strengthen?
Well, I mentioned this after the Leicester game. You know, Liverpool have got to make a decision around Conor Bradley. Is he their right back and they buy somebody who fills in around him, whether that's a utility player, maybe a centre-back who can play right back, something like that, or do you go and buy a recognised right back and it's like, OK, it's a real fight in terms of the right-back position. I actually think Conor Bradley, for what he's done so far in the Liverpool shirt, deserves to be given the go that he's our right-back. And Liverpool still need to go and invest in someone who can play in that area. And then 12 months down the line, you maybe then make that decision. Is Conor Bradley good enough to play for Liverpool week in, week out? We probably still don't know that right now, but he's definitely done enough so far in the Liverpool shirt for me to be given his head.
OK. That's Jamie then on Trent Alexander-Arnold and Liverpool. When we come back in the next hour, we're going to talk the race for the top 5.
There's one more thing I want to say as well.
No, you carry on.
Can we just get... We're not going to edit this, are we?
No, you carry on.
Now, there's this thing that I've been reading throughout the day, obviously when the news breaks, and you've got the reaction of Liverpool supporters, which are different. Some people wish him all the best, some people are really angry, some people are somewhere in the middle. I'm probably one of the ones who was somewhere in the middle. But I'm sick all day of reading about journalists or other people who have got no affiliation to Liverpool telling Liverpool supporters how they should feel. They're not Liverpool supporters. Liverpool as a city and a football club is very emotional, and that's what makes us what we are. And that's why you see the scenes that you saw last week when Liverpool won the league. You don't really see those scenes for a team winning the league because we are emotional. Football means a lot to us. So I just wanted to just mention that I don't think people out there should be telling Liverpool supporters how they should feel. Liverpool supporters, like Trent, as Trent's going to Real Madrid, he can do what he wants. It's his career. Fine, good luck to him. But Liverpool supporters can also feel how they want about this situation.
Absolutely. I'm glad you
Yeah, I just
came in. There you
I thought you were going to ask me.